Next, we'll add a hole. So I'll zoom up close to this profile, and I'll select the circle command, and in periphery, I'll click in the center of this and just come out for a 1/2 inch diameter hole. So there's a hole. Now, I'm going to switch to center lines. With center lines, I can use the annotation tab, and we can find center mark. So you want to use center mark here to represent the crosshairs that would represent where the hole is going to be. So I'll use center mark and click the edge of this circle, and it puts the crosshair on the circle. Now I can project construction lines for the circle into this view. So instead of measuring over where the hidden lines would be and where the cross section would be, I'm going to simply go back home and go to the construction line. So using construction line, we can activate the construction layer, and whoops, what happened to my center mark? I don't know. Let's go back and try that again. Under the annotation tab, center mark. Sorry, I got to go back home and make sure center line is active. Center line is active. Back to the annotation tab. Back to center mark. Select that edge. I wonder why my center mark went away. Let's go home. I'm going to go back to construction line. Oh. So am I off of it? Yeah, I should be off of it. I'm going to use a construction line. And I want to switch this to construction lines. And I'm just going to go from the center up and then create another construction line from this intersection of the circle and that crosshair, that center mark, and then create yet another construction line from that intersection straight up. Click a position. Now, normally I'd hit escape because it drives me nuts, but I'm going to go right to the line feature and put a line in this view on the top. Click over here. Center mark is the first one I'm going to do. It's going to go 1/4 inch past the part and then 1/4 inch above the part, and that's going to represent the center line. Then I'm going to represent two hidden lines. So I got to go back to line with hidden line active. The intersection of where that construction line I just created and the bottom or front face of this part is going to be right here, and then I create a line that ends at that white periphery line and where this vertical construction line intersect. So again, I'm using that intersection right there. I'll click there, and I'll go back to line and do one from here to here. We'll go back to line, and I'm going to switch this construction layer to go off just so you can see. There's my hidden line and my axis. The problem is, if you look in your unit print reading book, there is a section on the lines, and the line weight of the periphery must be twice as thick as the hidden lines, but also the hidden lines must be dashed, and the center line must be a dot dash. So what that means is, under the layer properties, we want to change the hidden line. Instead of being continuous, we're going to load a different hidden line. So I go here, and the one I use the most is just flat out called hidden. There's multiple hidden lines to use. I'm just going to pick the first one and see if it works. I select OK. And you still have to load it. Notice it's still a solid line here. It's still under continuous. So if I say OK, it doesn't know to just switch it to hidden. You literally have to pick on that and then hit OK, and you'll see that switched to a hidden line. So now when I move this part over, see these lines are dashed. I can experiment with that. I could click back on that hidden line and I could load and try a different hidden line if I wasn't happy with the way that looked. I could try hidden line number 2 and hit OK. Click on hidden line number 2 and hit OK. And it looks a little more dashed because this part is so small. When I print it, no matter which one I use, it should work. So when you actually run it on the print, it should look like a hidden line. Alright, the next one I'm going to change is the center line from continuous to use a center line. So I could load and try and find a center line. So I scroll down here, and you would think center line here, that looks like a good one to me, and let me try that. I'll say OK. And then I got to pick that center line I just chose, which is this one here, and hit OK, and it changed it to center. But I don't really see my dot dash. So I zoom in and out. I don't think it's working. So what I'm going to do is select the center. And there was a default one already there called center 2, and I guess that's the one that seems to work best. So when I say OK, I can see the dot dash. So you have a long line, a dash line, another long line. If it were longer, it would be followed by another dash. And that's how you identify your center line and your hidden line. Do you think you could create the construction lines for the hole that's missing in this view? So again, if I'm looking through here, the hole is inside the part, it's hidden, but we have to show hidden lines to represent it. Just like when I'm looking down on the top of this view, inside there's a hole. These holes represent the hidden line. Alright, go ahead and try it out. If you can do it, great. If not, I'll make another video on how I did that.